Hey everyone, I know you've all been keeping up with the latest news surrounding NewJeans, particularly Hanni's emotional testimony about her experiences with workplace harassment at their agency. This is a heavy topic, so let's take a moment to break it down and talk about the potential impact it could have not only on NewJeans and I.O.I, but also on how the public views the K-pop industry as a whole. We would like to sincerely thank you from the bottom of our hearts for clicking on this video and watching it until the end. Please like the video and subscribe to our channel for your daily dose of K-pop updates. So just a quick recap, Hanni, one of the members of NewJeans, gave tearful testimony in front of the South Korean National Assembly's Labor Committee about some really troubling things going on behind the scenes at her agency. She accused senior management at I.O.I of undermining NewJeans and even shared a specific incident where a manager from another band's team told the artist to ignore her when they passed by her at the company's office. That really struck a chord with me because K-pop is all about respect, teamwork, and fan engagement, so hearing that someone as high profile as Hanni was made to feel isolated and disrespected in her own work environment is shocking. Hanni went on to talk about other instances of cold treatment from higher-ups at I.O.I and a general feeling that her group wasn't being supported by their own company. What's even more concerning is her claim that she saw employees bad-mouthing NewJeans on an internal app, and that I.O.I's PR team allegedly contacted a journalist to downplay the group's achievements in a report. That's a pretty serious accusation if true, especially considering the impact it could have on their image and careers. It sounds like Hanni truly felt like the company didn't care about NewJeans or actively disliked them. That's heartbreaking, especially for a group that's been breaking records and gaining so much love from fans around the world. Now, hearing this from Hanni's perspective makes it clear why she was so emotional and why this testimony has sparked such a huge reaction. It's not easy to go public with something like this, especially in such a high-pressure environment like the K-pop industry, where so much of the focus is on maintaining a perfect image. We know how hard idols work to succeed, and for her to express these frustrations so openly must have taken a lot of courage. But, as with any story, it's important to consider both sides. After Hanni's testimony, the CEO of A.KOR, Kim Joo-young, was also called to speak, and her response is something we should think about too. She acknowledged Hanni's story about being shunned by another band's manager, which seems like a clear validation of Hanni's experience. However, she mentioned that she couldn't find supporting evidence, mainly because CCTV footage of the incident had expired. This shows that while Kim is willing to listen and believes in Hanni's account, there's also a need for concrete proof, especially in a business setting where accusations can have serious consequences. Kim also expressed regret, wondering if she could have done more to prevent the situation from escalating. It's a bit of a tricky situation here. On the one hand, it's commendable that she's taking responsibility and seems open to addressing the issues, but on the other hand, the fact that Hanni felt so ignored and unsupported for so long is something that shouldn't have happened in the first place. The fact that the Ministry of Labor is now getting involved shows how serious this situation has become, and it's a sign that this is no longer just an internal issue within the company, it's a public concern now. So what does all of this mean for NewJeans, I.O.I, and K-pop in general? First off, if Hanni's allegations are proven to be true, it could seriously damage I.O.I's reputation. We've seen other K-pop agencies go through scandals before, and it often takes years to recover. Fans are incredibly loyal, but they also care deeply about the well-being of their idols. If the public starts to believe that I.O.I is mistreating one of its most successful groups, it could lead to a lot of backlash, not just from NewJeans fans, A.K.A bunnies, but from the wider K-pop community. This also shines a light on the bigger issue of how idols are treated behind the scenes. K-pop, as much as we love it, is known for being a tough industry. The pressure to succeed, maintain a perfect image, and generate constant content can take a huge toll on idols. Hanni's testimony brings up the question of how much support idols are actually getting from their agencies. Are they being protected? Are their concerns being heard? Or are they being brushed aside in favor of profit and brand management? If more idols start coming forward with similar stories, it could lead to a much-needed conversation about labor rights within the K-pop industry. It's worth noting that Hanni was testifying in front of a labor committee, which suggests that this issue isn't just about interpersonal conflicts or workplace drama, it's about fundamental rights and fair treatment. We might be witnessing the start of a bigger movement within K-pop, where idols begin to speak up more openly about their working conditions. From a fan's perspective, this situation is tough. We all want to support our favorite groups, but how do we balance that with the knowledge that they might be suffering behind the scenes? If NewJeans, one of the most popular rookie groups right now, is going through this, what does that say about the rest of the industry? I think it's important for us as fans to stay informed and to support the well-being of the idols, not just their music or image. I.V E has denied some of the claims, especially regarding the PR team and the alleged smear campaign, but the fact that there's now an investigation means that this story isn't going away anytime soon. We'll have to see how things develop, but one thing is for sure, this situation has opened up a conversation that the K-pop industry can't ignore anymore. Whether or not all of Hanni's claims are substantiated, the fact that an idol felt compelled to take her concerns to such a public forum is already a sign that something isn't right. Based on these information, I believe Hanni when she says she felt hurt, disrespected, and isolated. No one should have to feel that way, especially in an industry that relies so heavily on teamwork, mutual respect, and the love of fans. At the same time, it's important to let the investigation run its course and hear I.V.E's side of the story fully. If these issues are systemic within the company or the industry as a whole, we need to demand better conditions for the idols we love so much. This could be a turning point for K-pop, and I'm hoping it leads to positive change. There are a couple of key lessons we can learn from Hanni's testimony, both for the K-pop industry and beyond. First, it highlights the importance of communication and transparency within organizations. If idols like Hanni feel ignored or disrespected, it points to a breakdown in communication between management and their artists. Agencies must prioritize creating a safe and open environment where idols can voice their concerns without fear of retaliation or dismissal. This isn't just about resolving conflicts, it's about fostering a work culture that values respect, collaboration, and the well-being of the people who make the music industry thrive. Secondly, Hanni's testimony serves as a reminder that public perception and internal realities can sometimes be worlds apart. K-pop idols are often portrayed as living glamorous lives, but behind the scenes, they face immense pressure and, at times, mistreatment. It's crucial for fans, companies, and the broader public to recognize that the well-being of idols should always come first, above profits or image. If this situation sparks meaningful change, it could lead to better protections and working conditions for idols across the industry, ensuring that they are treated with the dignity and respect they deserve. This situation highlights the power dynamics at play within the entertainment industry, where idols, despite their fame, can still feel voiceless and powerless. Hanni's decision to testify publicly shows just how desperate the situation had become for her and potentially for others within the K-pop industry. It's a wake-up call for companies to reconsider how they manage their artists, not just as marketable assets, but as individuals with emotional and physical needs. The public can no longer ignore the possibility that behind the perfectly crafted image lies a toxic work environment, and this demands a serious reevaluation of how idols are treated in an industry as fast-paced and demanding as K-pop. Fans also have a significant role to play in this change. The overwhelming support and attention surrounding Hanni's testimony shows that fans deeply care about the well-being of their favorite idols. This can encourage companies to rethink their practices, as the fan base is a crucial part of any group's success. If fans push for transparency and ethical treatment of idols, it can create pressure for real reform. Ultimately, this situation highlights the importance of empathy in fandom, reminding us that idols are more than just performers. They are people who deserve the same respect and care that they give their audiences. Hanni's revelations shine a light on the need for greater accountability within K-pop agencies. While fans often focus on supporting their favorite idols through streaming and social media, it's equally important to hold the companies behind these stars responsible for how they treat their talent. Transparent policies regarding workplace conditions, mental health support, and proper channels for addressing grievances are vital to ensuring that idols can thrive in healthy environments. If these issues continue to be swept under the rug, it not only harms the artists but also tarnishes the image of the entire K-pop industry, which is built on the dedication of its performers. What do you guys think? Do you believe Hanni's testimony will lead to reforms in how agencies treat their idols? And how do you feel about I.V.E's response so far? Let me know in the comments, and as always, thank you for supporting not just the music but the people behind it.